Podcast in the sport of cycling. This is the Packfiller Podcast. I'm Pat Bulger, and I am currently 40% canned tuna by volume. This is the Packfiller Cycling Podcast. Once again, think of us as a post-ride beer with several friends and one asshole. I might very well be that one asshole. But my name is Pat, so it's all okay, right? Let's see who's with us tonight with our prologue question, brought to us by our friends at Scratch Labs. You know Scratch, you know the taste, you know the benefits. Now make sure you're stocked up for those spring miles. David is in New Zealand, learning the hard way that people who are coming off their seasons live in New Zealand and are massively fit, and I think he's going to run into an extreme wake-up call here shortly. Sam is off tonight because he claims that apparently working for a living is too tough. So I feel sorry for Sam there. And Jackson, I think Jackson is drinking green beer, so, you know, I can pick that. He's not doing that, but I can say that because he won't sit over there and roll his eyes at me because I called him a redneck or something like that. Did I do the prologue question? I did not do the prologue question. The question, gentlemen, is Milan-San Remo week, 300 kilometers, 7 hours in the saddle. Question for the panel: if you had to spend 7 hours on a bike with any pro rider, dead or alive, who would it be, and what would you talk about to keep from going insane? There we go, because 7 hours is a long freaking time. First and foremost, he is a lean, mean, fighting machine, Mr. Paul Main. How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right.
Are you just all right?
Just all right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The energy's a little low. I'm worried.
Yeah, it's a little low. We got some bad news about our dog. So, yeah. So, anyway.
Did we lose Flanders?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet, but he's not looking good. Cheers to
Flanders.
Flanders.
Cheers to Flanders,
12
man.
years.
This dog is all character. And so you're coming on a podcast and you're supposed to be a smart ass.
Yeah, well,
I've
always got that deep in my soul.
That's in the DNA. Paul, if you had to do a 7-hour ride with a pro, living or dead, retired or employed currently, who would it be and what would you talk about?
I would probably pick Edwig van Hooydonk.
What?
Mm-hmm.
You know how many people just turn their head sideways like a confused animal?
Yeah. Only because I really idolized that guy. When he won his first, Ronde van Vlaanderen when he was an amateur. First time he won it as a professional, he wept. It was, because it's hardcore Belgian thing.
Yeah.
And he was pretty young then. And he won it second time also. He didn't cry so much then. But he raced with his heart. He wasn't probably the most talented. And he got out of pro cycling because it was no longer clean.
Oh.
He just said there's people that doesn't matter what I do, I can train as hard as I can. I'm not going to catch these guys. So
we hear that from a lot of people. We've always heard that from a lot of people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people did quit because of that time period.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So, Paul, I gave you a cheesy rhyme. I apologize. Because my next one, he's almost never here. He likes to drink beer and is racing the 24-hour solo, I fear. Mr. Jack Brodhead. Welcome back to the show, Jack.
Short and sweet.
They're all, well, lean, mean, fight machine is short.
Yeah.
How are you, man? How you been?
Good.
It's been a while since you put your nuts on the bar.
It has been. I had to show before you forgot who I was. So.
Yeah. Well, some people might not be 100% aware of what it is.
New listeners.
But being that as it may, you have been you've been in the scene since. When did you start?
Shortly after you.
I thought you started before I did.
No, I would say the spring of '84. Because I think going into 84, like watching the trials here in Spokane was pretty much my first, like, I was looking for a road racing bike.
Oh, okay.
I was getting hooked up with Doug and Arrive, but the trials were going on. So it was kind of like that. It might have been like winter of 83, but right in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. I mean, you were like 82.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, late 82 kind of a thing like that. So. Too damn long.
A long time ago.
Jack, being that you've been with the sport for so long, do you have a rider you'd ride with for 7 hours?
Yeah.
And what would you talk about?
Well, so my first thought was Moser because he was like the guy I liked. Merckx, Moser. Mm-hmm. He seemed to be, he had great great racing history. The 1 hour record. Lots
3
of
Roubaix in a row.
Thanks,
There we go.
man. Giros.
Paul's going to crush trivia tonight. He's
Yeah.
gonna absolutely
So,
crush it.
but then I decided the guy I'd like to ride with for 7 hours would be Greg LeMond.
Oh, okay.
And for a couple reasons. One, he was like our hero when we were
Oh my God,
getting
yeah.
into the sport. 84, 85, 86. He was like the guy, and he's the only American that was going to that level. I mean, there were a few others just below him, Boyer and Eustace and Mount. I mean, if you go
Yeah.
way back. But so Greg's been through a lot, and that's why you could feel the. I don't know Italian, so I'm not going to talk to Moser much. but LeMond, I mean, he's been through a lot. He's been shot. He's won tours.
Yeah.
He's been in controversy. He has current controversy with Lance.
Voldemort.
Yeah. So there's so much to talk about, so much history. He's an amazing junior world champion. So he,
Okay.
you could.
And I don't think he's really bashful on retelling the stories.
No.
He's the guy who'd
I
be
know.
cool telling it all again.
Nope.
Over and over.
Yeah, he can talk. And
But
talk
so
and
so
talk.
that
Yeah.
would be, I mean, you could almost say the same about about Lance because he has been through a whole shit ton. It'd be an interesting story, but I think Greg's is a little more pure.
Oh, yeah, literally and figuratively.
Yes.
I'm 10 pounds down. I want to lie down. Welcome to my playground. I am Pat Bulger, and I would definitely ride with my first hero, who is 100% Sean Kelly. I know it sounds cliche, but I would ride with Sean. And first of all of his stories, because there's pretty much every race that he had his hands in and won at some point in time. And second of all, I would ride along and count how many times he either says 13 or 30.
30.
Yeah. Well, he
That'd
always
be
finds a
entertaining.
way to fit the number 13 or 30 into his commentary when he's on. And so it's always like 30.
I thought you'd pick an O.
What?
I thought you'd pick Bernardino.
I would pick Bernardino, but I think he'd probably yell at me.
I almost picked Duclos Sassal.
Oh, there's a good choice.
That somebody would yell at you also.
Yeah.
There is. Well, gentlemen, as with all shows, we like to start with the inquiring into the cycling life status. Paul, first and foremost, how's your cycling life, man? We're going to get to you,
well,
Jack,
yeah,
and
let's
I'm going to demand some riding out of you.
Let's see here. I can't remember. Did I ride Saturday? No. I know I was on the rollers because the weather was pretty crappy. And, yeah, it hasn't been all that good.
It hasn't.
No.
So how many days you get in this week in the past 7
Well, I
days?
did nothing on the road. I can't remember if I rode Tuesday. Yeah, I must have rode Tuesday because it was my RDO.
Okay.
So
you got out, though.
Yeah.
Jack Brodhead. Did I get loud in your ears there? Sorry
No,
about that.
not at all.
I have the most powerful mic in the room.
I thought David did.
Well, no, David's is
There's
cranked.
two.
Yeah, exactly. You could hear your soul with Jack with that one. How's your cycling life been, man? You occasionally will take a picture, like a selfie on the bike and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything too terrible, but there haven't been a whole lot of those pictures.
Well, it's winter, so I'm getting a outdoor ride once a month outdoors. But I have been riding 5 days a week indoors.
What?
Yeah, well, this is my program last year too. It's
Okay.
to just sit on the bike. So I have a stationary bike. I kind of blew out my rear tire on my road bike and decided I wasn't going to do that anymore and didn't buy a trainer tire by your suggestion.
Oh, you're still tire contact to the trainer. Okay.
Yeah. So, but then I have this pretty smart stationary bike that I inherited. So about a half hour, 20 to 40 minutes, depending upon what I'm doing while I'm, it's not like I'm doing a workout, but 5 days a week.
Okay.
Usually the 5, Monday through Friday, and then the weekend is whatever the weekend is.
Are you going to be able to come and play with us at all this year? For those who new to the show who don't know Jack very well, Jack lives. How do I describe Hoquiam? Other than
it's next door to where Kurt Cobain was born.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
A suburb almost.
A suburb of Aberdeen, Washington.
Yeah.
Far cleaner. Aberdeen
Than Aberdeen?
armpit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so technically you're one of the Packfiller guys. You are on a Rive. You're on our team.
Yeah.
I have lined up to a start line with you once in the past. How many years? 30.
Yeah. Just yeah. Wow.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I both kind of
yep,
went through,
yep.
you know.
Yeah, in the 90s, you weren't around, and he was racing all the time. Yeah.
Exactly.
You were rowing your boat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, I'm not.
But it's been a long time. You and I, and Paul.
And you're doing the 24-hour solo again this year.
Yep.
Can I ask, have you learned anything from last year?
Yep. You want to know?
Yeah. No, I don't. Let's leave it at that.
So last year I had this thought that I was going to ride through the night.
Yeah.
And the first lap in the dark, I realized I didn't have the lighting apparatus to safely ride through the night. So I just parked it after the first lap in the dark. Woke up to a moose.
Listen to him blading his lights. Oh, yeah, the moose.
Woke up to a moose walking through my campground. I hit the road about 7. And so this year, instead of pretending, I'm either going to get better lighting apparatus or I'm going to pull Roger's program and go home for the night and show up at 7
The next
fresh
day
and
just-
relaxed. And yeah, no sleeping. I slept on a cot thinking I was going to get up. I even changed into a fresh kit so that I could go back out, and I just went to sleep.
So how many laps does anybody get at night?
Some people are
They're
like
straight through.
continual.
I know,
Yeah.
but how many laps in that time period?
Fastest laps are usually, depending on the course, fastest laps during the day are usually about 48 minutes, I think, something like that. And so it obviously slows down as fatigue wears in.
And darkness, you gotta
and
go
darkness
slower.
wears in.
Yeah.
So you'd be giving up probably about 4 laps, maybe 5.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
For a night's
Yeah.
sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can't remember if I had 9.
That makes you think.
I might
Yeah,
have
then
had,
all of a sudden you start thinking you're fresh in the morning, you're going to go twice as fast as the guy who's fighting.
Yeah.
right.
sleep
Oh,
deprivation.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know, at our age, I didn't crash. I literally, you know, there were times where I felt like I was really on the edge. But I don't want to break a hip.
No,
So
no.
That's such an
just not
old-fashioned
worth it.
thing to say.
I know.
I know. Visiting in the old folks' home.
I'll tell you, the new
It's go
the new
time.
bikes these days are a huge advantage. Like the amount of travel and safety in a full suspension modern day mountain bike. If I would have rode my bike from the 90s, I would have been a trip to the hospital. Just not so much the rock, the Devil's Drop.
Yeah.
For
Devil's
example.
Down. Yeah.
Devil's Down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I bombed down that in my bike, but I'd have died on my old
26
bike. Yeah,
inch wheel.
all that.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Hard
3
tail.
inches. 3
Hard
inches of
tail,
travel
yeah,
from
yeah.
Rock Shock.
A 1990 Manitou.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
Haven't changed out anything.
No.
cow horns on the end.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Yep.
miss
Snag on
those.
the tree.
Control.
Yeah. I do miss those, though.
Yeah.
I miss that extra hand part.
I don't like the wide bars these days.
They're
you
way
can't
too
get in
wide.
between
Yeah.
trees.
Yeah. They're
You
way
got to
wider.
turn sideways
They used to
to
be.
get between trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Turn
crazy.
sideways. Me, my training is definitely up and down. Last week I hit a wall of fatigue. And I've told you guys that I'm doing this AI coaching thing, and Paul, I could just tell by his face expression. He just went, oh my God, you're so stupid.
Now let's talk about gravel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it had me doing some, I guess they're called Bulgarian leg squats, not Hungarian leg squats, where you put one foot behind you on a bench and
There's a
then
right
squat.
way to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, to place your forward foot.
Yeah.
You get to the edge of the chair. Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Make sure you're at the very edge and stick your forward leg straight locked, and that's your position. Then you shoot up on that. Then stick your
Then
back
pop
leg.
up. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
a lot easier on your knees, and it's a better
It
workout.
wasn't necessarily my knees. It broke me. I mean, the next day I was sore, and I've been doing squats and lunges and all that kind of stuff all year, bench steps and plyometrics and things like that. But this kicked my ass, and then the next day, I was supposed to do these intervals at 300 watts for like 10, 15 minutes each, and I made it 4 minutes into the first interval, and I just had a mental breakdown. It was physical, sure, but I don't know why. I just crumbled, and it was like one of my worst days on the bike. I was just like, F this. I'm gonna go throw my bike in a dumpster. I don't want to ever ride again.
I need some carbs.
Yeah, I need some, you know what, and that 1,000%, you know, it was a part of the problem.
Lack of carbs can bring you to tears.
Oh, it did.
Yep.
It did. How do you guys deal with bad patches when you run into those slumps, when you run into those bad days on the bikes where you just want to say, fuck this and quit? Paul does never have. You never have.
No,
you
I have no, because
Jack.
I was seeing if Jack was going to speak up first, but yeah. Now that we talked, we both rode, and I had a really bad ride
Before the show last week, I remember. Yeah.
So, on that, you know, I know I've been into dark places before, and that's the bottom. You just fight through it.
Oh.
You know, that's part of training too. Sometimes it's just getting over that hump mentally, because I mean, you do it long enough, you're not there forever.
Yeah.
It might be a slow road to get back, but sometimes you just snap right back. I have a quick little story. So my first year when I was going 100%, I started February 5th, never missed a day, and state championships were here in Spokane. And the week before, I mean, doing the Tuesday night races, training races, I was getting passed. I was getting dropped. I was like shattered. And my coach at the time was Tom Ramsey, and he had a friend of theirs that came up. Her name was Vera. We called her Vera. She was into but she was a great masseuse, but she was into the sandals and candles type stuff. So that's why we called her Vera. So Vera, you know, I was just like, I was getting frustrated, and so anyway, Tom asked Vera, you know, what do you think he should do? And she said, stay off the bike for 4 days. I said, well, in 5 days is the state championship. I'm not going to do that. And she says, don't look at your bike. Don't do anything. Don't think about it. Don't read about it. And I'm like, I thought, well, what do I have to lose?
Yeah.
And then on that 5th day, I got in and I thought, oh, man, the first couple of miles, I felt like crap. And then things started coming. By the end of the race, you know, I got like 19th, but at the end of the race, I felt like I could have gone on forever. Things just started coming, and then I was on an uphill deal.
Yeah, and you're not going to gain in that last week anyway.
No,
if you're
mentally,
down,
in your head, you're like, I am so screwed.
Yep.
You know, and there's the lesson to learn.
I posted. Actually, I entered this data after my ride, how I was hitting a mental wall. And okay, you guys can make fun of it all you freaking want, but this AI algorithm actually said, Pat, step away from the bike. Don't look at it for
Close
at least 36 hours.
Bombay doors.
Yeah. It said all this kind of stuff, and it's like, get away, don't talk, don't look at it, don't even think about it. And then it gave me all these reasonings, and at the end of it, it said, and I'm not exaggerating, it said, could you do me a favor? Could you let me know that you're off the bike and you're okay? This AI algorithm said this. Now, is it a robot? Absolutely. Is it some server sucking down all the water out of California? 100%. But it said the shit I needed to read.
Yeah.
And it said it in a way that made me think this, you know, these words were understanding the data I was putting into it. And I'm not saying, you know, it substitutes a person, but at that point in time, it said some shit that I needed to hear. And it helped me the next day. It was like, okay, we're going to reset. You know, here's some reasoning why this probably happened. Talk to me through your day yesterday that led up to this. You know, we've been starving you without carbs, you know, and it gave me all this shit. And I was like, okay, I'm just so hell-bent on this objective, this, you know, being ready to roll up the Tour de Bloom as best I can. And any type of setback, I find myself losing my shit. And it's like, okay, dude, I got to have fun. I got to remember to have fun. And I am having fun with it. But it's also, with those setbacks, it's just brutal. Jack, did you have one?
Yeah, I've had 2 days that I can, and I don't know why I thought about this today. It's odd because I thought about this, God, I don't know if I was thinking about like the crappy weather in the last race or Milan-San Remo is going to be, you know, whatever. But I was thinking I've had two, not even thinking about race days, because I've had a lot of shitty race days. I've probably had more shitty race days than good race days. But the good race days are really good race days. And that's what keeps you showing back up. But the two memorable can't make it home days, and not because of a flat. You walked for like 13 miles or something, and got a ride home from your dad's office.
Yeah.
I went to a random house and got my mom to pick me up when I was like...
Is that the time you peed your pants?
No, I made it home that day.
Okay.
That was pretty cool, though.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I didn't even think about that one. That was awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. No, I was like, 15, maybe. I might have been 14. But we did that, out to Hauser Lake, out to Newman.
Round both lakes.
Yeah.
Round both lakes and back. And I was about 14 and it was pouring down rain, almost hail. That March ride.
Yeah.
And no one was around me. I was so far off the back. I had to stop at some random house on Upriver Drive. It happened to be my best friend growing up's grandparents' house.
And you didn't know that?
Nope.
You just
Spokane.
picked
I could have been dead. I could have been gone,
Yeah.
in somebody's basement.
Oh,
Slave.
come in. I have some candy in the oven.
Yeah, so there was that, and there was also when I was like, I don't know, 19 or 20.
Looks like the old lady from Weapons.
Yeah.
She breaks a stick and you're running around with your arms on your side.
Wow.
Sorry,
I
reference.
know, and I did also get picked up by Todd Starnes one time because I was out riding in this really really awful weather, and you're trying, where you got to be, and you're afraid not to be there. Kind of what you were saying.
Yeah.
And so you're doing stupid shit, and on a trainer, I don't know that that's necessarily stupid. You can get off.
Yeah,
you can go upstairs and have a espresso.
Yeah.
When you're 20 miles from home or 10 miles from home and you're broken because you're pressure and all that, those are the two bad days. I think I was like in Renton trying to make it back to Seattle on that one, and I just make a phone call and say, hey, I can't even turn my pedals over anymore.
And I don't know why. There were so many rides like that where I would actually still pedal home, though. I would still, it never even crossed my mind to call someone.
I think I was so cold that I couldn't turn. I was probably whimpering.
Do you think it has to do with the fact that we don't have phones in our back pocket?
Then we did not.
We probably would have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think I've only had one to prolong this kind of discussion.
No, yeah.
It was first year racing on a team, and again, it was Tom that was our coach, and it must have been like in February, maybe first part of March. And the team rolled out from Spokane to ride Centennial Trail. It's flat, following the Spokane River to Coeur d'Alene and back. And it started off at like 38 degrees. And we had a team of about 20. Most of them were women on the team. And by the time we got to Coeur d'Alene, it started pissing down rain and cold. It's like getting 34. And it's just where it pelts you, where it's hurting and stinging. And
you're a long way from home.
We're halfway. We have to go back. And the thing is first of all, we're all like rookie beginning riders, so our gear was not fit for that.
Yeah.
And not only that, back then we really didn't have anything, to prevent from getting that cold, other than wool,
plastic jacket.
Yeah. Exactly, all that crap.
Yeah, those clear plastic ones that
we got into and pooled our money, and we found a laundromat in Coeur d'Alene and threw our clothes, whatever we had outer level in the dryer. And because it was like sand and stuff on the road, so a lot of that sand was inside that barrel. I was so freaking cold. I was like shivering. And they had like those vending machines where you slot and you pull out, the old vending machines. And I got a Snicker, and I crawled in one of the dryers that just people pulled the clothes out, and I shut the door and I sat there and ate that inside the barrel.
This is insane. You could have got the bus back.
Well, a lot of people called because there's payphones back then.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people called, and I started this, that was my mindset.
My God.
And then we got to the state line, and everybody says, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, the 10 that was left out of, I think we had 25.
Yeah.
Can't do
They
it.
just
Everybody,
pulled the
come on,
cord.
and, you can ride with me. Nope, I'm going to do this. And then it started freezing rain. And I remember, and there was a headwind because it was coming from the west, and I'm heading west. And I looked down at my spokes, and I'm like, it's weird. I had ice developing on my spokes.
God.
I get into town, and I'm like shaking. and I crossed on Mission Avenue by the Spokane Community College. There's these railroad tracks that go on an angle, and there's a big slush puddle. And I hit that track, and I went head first, right in the slush puddle. I was covered in grease and grime, and I thought, I'm not going to make it back. And I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
But I knew this girl that worked at Taco Time downtown. So my hands are frozen. I go in. I said, Jamae, I need a call, but I need you to call because I can't even dial. I need to go in and warm my hands up.
That's why your hands are fucked up.
Well, they were fucked up before that. So anyway, she calls and she's saying, what can I, do you want a Coke? God, no.
Yeah.
And so she goes, oh, I'm going to get you some hot water and see if I can find
But
something.
dump the fryer basket
Yeah,
on my
yeah,
face.
put my hands in that tater tots. Oh, I'll take them hot. So, and then I was picked up. And then I remember going in the shower with my clothes on and just, it felt like even on medium, it's just
horrible,
like, oh yeah, it's like you're being boiled.
Yeah.
And
Why do we do that? Why do we get to that point? Like, for example, that crash.
that was young and stupid.
Yeah. Well, even that crash I took, God, was it last summer or the summer before? I was thinking to myself in my head at the moment, I was like going, no, you don't have to call anybody. I can get on the bike and ride home. We're fine. Let's just keep going. I mean, there's blood on the concrete, and, it's dripping off of me. And I'm like, no, we're good. Why does that mentality stick in? I can think of more rides where I have bonked to another dimension where all I can do is think about the pedals going around. And I would never call anybody. And I would come home and I would just be like, oh my God, I made it. That effing bike packing trip. Coming back from that bike packing trip, I have never been that close. I was in heat exhaustion for sure. And I was approaching heat stroke. Did I call anybody? I had a phone in my pocket. No, I kept riding. Why do we do that? Am I the only one that does that?
No. Well, that's the nature of the sport.
Because Jackson, for example, a smart kid. Last weekend, when they did that horrible ride out in the high winds, he called his wife from 4 blocks away from here. Now, could he made it to his parents' house? Sure.
Oh, he doesn't like you because you called him redneck.
I don't think I'm going to get off the hook for that
redneck?
one.
No. You got to listen to the show.
Yeah.
That one.
About a month and a half ago.
Yeah, I'm in trouble for that one.
Yeah.
But
Forever.
But he called Maria and he said, I don't want to ride anymore home. Can you come and get me? She came and got him.
Yeah.
I don't know why I just don't do that. It's just a stupid. It's not machismo. I'm not trying to prove anything. It just never enters my mind that I need to get help.
The funny thing, when I was down in Palm Desert, Stu and I were talking about, because he said this is his last year. He's 74 years old, and I'm like, for me, it was like crushing. It's like,
oh my God,
you're where
I've never heard anybody say
really
that.
Close, yeah. But I think about it, crashing at 74 is not a good thing,
Yeah.
And he does gravel races, and there's a lot of risk in that. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, we were just talking. We just started sharing stories, and he goes, really, the good days you don't really remember. It's those hard days. That is the story. That's the journey that you have with cycling. Those are the ones that stick with you, and in your memory. And I agree. That's
Wow. Yeah.
and I think there is a bit of that is the stigma why you see that. Your favorite poster where the soccer player's faking being hurt, and then below somebody who's faking that he's okay, and the cyclist is just shredded, and stuff like that. But that is just the culture of cycling, and I'm sure all of us have picked ourselves up and thought I can go on, and the only thing that's stopping me is my bike is broken.
Yeah.
But you got you're concussed and everything. So
to go on off of what Stu said is I don't know if I'm disagreeing with him, but the good days or the good races are what make you go on.
For racing, yes.
But that's the goal.
But the bad days are the stories.
The bad days are the stories, but I'm telling you, I have hundreds of bad races that I can't remember. That I don't dwell on.
These are the suffering races.
Yeah.
They're the ones that you're
and
not
I
just
have suffering
bad
races that are beautiful to me. The suffering,
Yeah.
So you say you
That's the
finish,
point.
you're finished, and you may have gotten 19th, and or whatever. But so that is a reason to go on. But the good days are why we tolerate the bad days. Is my mentality, I guess.
Well, I think it was. I'm sure it was Bob Roll. He said somebody was interviewing about cycling. and he's talking about how hard it is training, and you're out in the cold and everything like that. And they said, he said 3% of the time you are on top of your game and you win your races and stuff.
Yeah.
And the other 97%, you're just suffering like a dog. And they said, why do you do it? He said, for the 3%.
Yeah.
And
actually, there's some of those, some of my best feelings aren't a win or a top 3 or anything. It's how badass that race was. Maybe the weather turned. Maybe the group shrunk down to 10 guys, and I was part of that, and I might have got 10th or whatever. But it's that the feeling of this is badass, not so much the win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And of course not hitting the ground. Yeah. The bad days, or getting dropped.
Yeah.
Plenty of those too.
That's the story that actually we're sharing, is more of those things of punching through the rugged times and completing.
And still showing up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Not so much of being totally destroyed, but yeah.
So these young punks with their phones calling and going home early.
It's a new game nowadays.
It is.
See, we were punished by not having phones.
Yeah.
It's because we were told to come back when the lights come on.
Yeah.
We did 10 hours, 12 hours of mayhem.
Yeah. Well, you're not talking about cycling now. You're talking about being one of those little neighborhood rugrats running around the place, lighting fires.
Hood rat. Yep.
Yeah, right. All that kind of stuff. All right. Okay. Interesting. Objectives, Paul. How are you feeling in terms of your seasonal objectives?
I felt pretty good after coming back from Palm Desert.
Yeah.
The weather coming here is just like
gut punch.
But you knew that was going to come. You knew that was going to happen.
I was hoping that the weather wouldn't be, because we've really had some crappy weather.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of disappointing, but I know I've got a base in there that I'll just draw off, even mentally, even if physically starts going away. But
are your first races planned to be the Twilight Series, or you got anything?
Yeah, I don't have anything in April other than the series, and then it'll be Bloom.
Yeah. Okay. God, you've got that down. That smell, the swallow sound. It surprises me. What?
You got that swallow sound down. He giggles like a girl.
Oh.
Don't ever tell me I have. Anyway,
I keep wondering. I saw Volunteer Park on the calendar the other day, and I was like, God, it'd be kind of fun to hit the road and go.
That's in June though. Nowadays, right? Yeah.
But that's just again, we've turned into little babies. It's just one day and back. It's too far of a drive for me. But Jack, you drive. Drive across the state
all the time
at 3:00.
I think I'm
shits and giggles.
I'm going home tomorrow, but I'll be back Saturday.
Jesus.
So
how many miles is that?
5.5 hours.
How many miles is that?
I don't know.
You don't. Just however many
400.
it is. Okay.
Somewhere in there.
Wow.
That would
a
take
tank
you,
and a half.
That would take you across Europe.
Yeah. Tank and a half at $5 a gallon. That's getting pretty nasty
insane.
too. Yeah.
I thought the gas prices were going down.
Nope.
There's a little things happening going on.
Little skirmish.
Yeah.
I have switched from the Afraid of Fondo. I'm not doing the Afraid of Fondo for a very good reason.
Okay.
Because the Afraid of Fondo, who the hell would schedule who would schedule a bike ride on the same day as Paris-Roubaix?
Oh. Yeah.
I can't
gravel
do it.
people maybe.
Yeah. But you think
because they don't know,
they'd appreciate it.
Yeah. So I looked at that and I went, "Oh God, no, I can't.
Yeah.
There's no way. I have to open up this place. We get coffee machines in here now, and everything's going to be locked and loaded." And so I got to do that. And then so I did switch to one of their other events called the Heaven of the South in Kennewick, Washington. Lovely Tri-Cities, Washington. Wait, I know some people from that area, so I won't say anything bad about the Tri-Cities.
Is it Heaven or Haven?
I think it's Heaven. It might be Haven because it would make sense. Horsehaven Hills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would make more sense. And I'm going to do that, and that's next weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend.
Oh.
And that's going to be 86 miles and 6,000 feet of climbing. So that would be a big kick to the teeth. Then I've got my training camp in Lewiston for 5 days, all by myself. And then it's kind of rolling into Bloom. And it's just, I wish I could find some more races. And coming from me, that is a big thing to say. Mm-hmm. I'm the guy who has avoided racing over the past years Yeah, I just have. I'm not going to compare it to anything. I have avoided it, but this year I'm just I'm trying to bite the bullet. I'm trying to be like the little kid getting thrown into the deep end by his mean old dad.
Jack's not going to do Bloom.
You're not going to do Bloom, Jack?
I won't be ready for Bloom, but I will be doing some of the Pacific Raceway
that's
stuff
cool.
with Undam.
Oh, yeah.
He every time we talk, he's like, "I'll see you Tuesday or Thursday."
You better get that straight.
Yeah.
I show up and no one's there every Thursday.
Yeah. And so I promised him I'd come out,
Good.
and I figure if I hit the first one, everybody's just not great, maybe.
Ooh.
Although the West Side, they're always
they've already done made us squim and
predominantly shorter distance. Are the East Coast West Side stuff a little bit shorter distance, higher intensity? Is that what they kind of end up being?
No, they're
the
just
training
basically
race stuff.
I mean,
it's similar to out here.
So it's like a crit
airway,
kind of experience.
except it's got a slight hill. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the only thing. It's a bigger course. With
when
a
do
slight
they do
hill.
Seward?
It starts after that, like 3 weeks or a
That's
month
the one I would
afterwards.
do.
Yeah, and I could go do that too. That might be Thursday. Maybe
Thursdays.
Thursday.
I think it's Thursday.
Yeah.
And you told
So
me
if I could
the
do a few of those.
Paul, you told me the other day that Tour de Bloom final day is not a huge climb anymore now.
No, because they're having road construction on
That's
that.
going to
So
change the
it's gonna
game,
be
brother.
It's going to be mayhem.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
There
just
really isn't
eliminate
any
the hill?
selective. They had to because it's a hockey.
Yeah, but they
But they
now
had
know-
to because there's
Yeah.
a bunch of construction and won't be ready for the race. So it's pretty much a flat race. There's some rollers and a hairpin about halfway. There isn't too many places where there's selection. So yeah, it's going to be fast.
Okay, there we go. There's our own agendas. I wish we had more, but we don't.
And no
we just got a
gravel.
race we
They
do.
were thinking about having gravel on the second day, and
Yeah, they
too
cut
many
that out.
people. Yeah,
Too many people.
didn't want.
Those little
Didn't
roadie
want-
purists.
a gravel stage or
Yeah.
a gravel climb or
It's
what
just
was it?
gravel farm roads like what we would have out here. So I don't know how big of a section that would have been.
And
Or a
that's
couple of
Squilchuck?
sections. What's that?
Is that Squilchuck out there?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't know. But-
Out on the plains?
Yeah,
Flat rollers.
right there at outside of Waterville.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Let's shift gears. Let's get to the news brought to us by our friends at Thomas Hammer Coffee Roasting Company. Roasted here, but available everywhere. Stay tuned for the Packfiller blend, you guys, coming to so soon. Support the show, drink the good stuff. Friends don't let friends drink shit coffee. I have several stories, and I'm trying to take them to an angle of an old generation versus new generation interpretation. Bender upstairs apparently really has a problem with the old generation.
Yeah, he's not liking it.
Yeah. My wife apparently doesn't want to shut the dog up. I don't think she hears it.
No,
I really
she's-
don't.
yeah.
She tunes into it all day, so I think she just tunes it out. And so I become the person coming into the room going, "Shut the fuck up!" And she yells at me going, "Why are you yelling?" Shut up. See? I don't even know what that was. Oh, okay.
Oh, he dropped a ball.
Yeah, there we go. First story, you guys. In case you haven't been paying attention, the Race to the Sun concluded this past Sunday. A dominant overall victory by Jonas Vingegaard. Secured the jersey after a long-range attack early in the week. Controlled the race to finish in Nice. 4:23 was the margin over Danny Martinez, marking one of the largest winning margins in the race's modern history. So I guess question is, are we seeing a new Jonas Vingegaard? Are we going to see something that might be different from what we've seen in years past? Are you telling me there's a chance?
He's not hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he hasn't crashed yet.
Yeah.
Well, he did on a train
Yeah,
ride.
but that was but not like the major crashes that held him back.
Yeah.
So I'm now he is unfortunately slotted in against what we can probably all arguably call one of the greatest riders of all time, and he will very likely be entered into the books as such. Is there a situation that we see something freakish happening, or that is assuming both riders stay upright for the next couple months?
I think there's a potential. I think Visma has to have their team. It takes more than just.
Yeah.
Toddy could almost do it on his own. It seems like, but he's not going to have Del Toro. Because Del Toro is going to have. I
think Del Toro's in the tour. I think he's going to blow off France.
I thought he was going to like the Vuelta.
I could be wrong, but that's what I saw a little snippet of today.
And if that's it, then yeah, there's always that.
The only chance he has is Tade seems to be doing more and more and more. And if he finds his too much, if he wins this weekend, Milano-San Remo, if he wins Paris-Roubaix, there's going to be a point where his body's going to could say no. It hasn't shown much except in the Tour.
Yeah.
It's the only.
But he's only got 16 races on his calendar compared to in the past.
And time is a cruel mistress. At some point in time, it does catch up, but I don't see it happening.
But he is younger than Jonas.
But all it takes is everybody thought, the Colombian guy that crashed into a bus. See, this is what happened when you have old people on there.
Oh, boy.
Ineos.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Ah! What's his fucking
radio.
name? People are yelling at their devices right now. Yeah, we all see his name. Bernal. Egan Bernal.
Yeah, thank you.
Jesus.
I probably could have looked on the list. But, everybody thought this kid's going to go, because he was, and even one-day stage races, too, he was always a factor, and Lombardia and Strada, all that. They're like, yeah, he's going to be winning the next 5, but you don't know.
No.
All it takes is one little oops.
Yeah, unfortunately. And speaking of youth, over in Italy, Race of the Two Seas, Tirreno Adriatico ended with 22-year-old Itzac del Toro securing the blue after winning the Queen stage and basically untouchable for the remainder of the time being. My question is about this 22-year-old kid, and this is for the old panel. In our day, a 22-year-old rider was fetching bottles, riding in the wind, getting yelled at by the team patron, and not racing a Grand Tour until he or she were 3 years into their professional career. Now they're winning World Tour stage races. Why don't we see young riders paying their dues, quote unquote, as we used to in the old days?
I think that's not I think as a general rule, it's a true statement. But Laurent Fignon, I'll throw it in there. He was 22. When he won his first tour. Yeah.
But he probably started at 19 under Guimard's tutelage and didn't ride his first 2 or 3 tours because Guimard was always that way. I couldn't answer
that. I don't know. But I remember that he was younger than anybody thought. This is so young, but he had so much talent. And I think that's, according to Itzac del Toro, he said that he has no problems. He has a lot to learn. He made that statement, so you got to give the kid credit. He's just like, his little proteges.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I think a lot of the guys, they, like you said, they weren't given a choice.
Yeah.
So even if we had a Tade back at 22, 21, 20 years old, they wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it till the guard started to slow.
Yeah.
Is
there a patron of this peloton? Would you say there's any of that ruling iron fist over other riders that we used to see for so long? Has that disappeared? Because it just seems like these little shits are just going, fuck you, I'm going wherever I want, and it's become more chaotic and more animated from the word go. Is it those days are over?
I think as a general rule, it sounds like it when you hear even the old guys before, that Duclos Lassalle, like I said, he was El Patron or Bernard Hinault or whoever it was in the past, that type of rider is no longer there. Yeah. That was some of the reason why Voldemar came back in, because he just looked at it. No one knew what to do. He's like,
I could slap these guys around.
Because that's what his role was. He told people you don't get to do that.
Yeah.
I think you only see that with the leader. So Tade crashes, Jonas slows it down, vice versa, things like that. But it's beyond that. It's not like you have the old guy that that traditional pack leader. Mm-hmm. The respect, no matter what team you're on.
Yep.
Okay. Final story of course brings us to Milan-San Remo, and there has been Merckx advice being offered out there. All eyes are on Tadej Pogačar and Mathieu van der Poel. Adding to the drama, Eddy Merckx offered public advice to Pogačar this week, stating that to win, he must attack on the Poggio, not to avoid being marked out by Van der Poel. A rainy forecast is also expected, from what it sounds like, which could turn the technical descent of the Poggio into the race's most decisive factor. So the three questions I have lined up here, Merckx telling Pogačar to race based on feel and timing. Do modern riders with earpieces and stem-mounted computers possess that instinct, do you think, that these old guys have, or is it just kind of a ear-based algorithm doing what the computers generated say in the team cars behind them, or do we see something different from guys like Tadej? Do you think he could, we know he has the numbers, but is this going to be by feel, or is this going to be a completely executed plan?
I think they have a general plan. I don't think anything in cycling you can just draw it up and it's going to go to plan, but I think there is quite a few riders that say, they talk about the earpieces, you don't really get to hear all that much. There's a delay, so it's not like you can get some information on splits and road, like furniture that's coming up. That's the vital stuff.
It's not like go now, go now, go now.
Yeah, they'll say whatever because it's that delay. It's too late at that point in time. So they can report in what happens behind them or what the breakaway's doing or something. And then I hear quite a few. I think majority of the riders don't even put their watts on their computer.
They don't anymore.
Yeah, some do. Some they use that 100%, but a lot of them say no. That's they remove it from the screen because the race is a race and you got to do what you got to do. So
that's interesting to hear. I came to that conclusion last year. It's like I can't look at watts and I can't look at heart rate.
Yeah,
because both of those numbers will tell me this is too fast. I can't hold this. Look at me.
Yeah, but that's why records are broken, because when you look at how many times did Sam say, I just set my next 5 minute power on this race.
Yeah.
He never looked down. He just had to go.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of cycling and racing. If you go, fly at the seat of your pants as opposed to being so mechanical and data driven.
Well, and speaking of flying by the seat of your pants, with this, if the Poggio is a wet descent this year, we know that bikes are able to brake quicker with modern technology, and they're able to handle these types of things. And as I mentioned at the onset, Sean Kelly is one of the fastest descenders of that climb that I remember in recent years. Although Matej Mohoric used an actual dropper post and won his Milan-San Remo that way. Are we going to expect to see some bigger risks now that we have the comfort of the technology underneath our ass?
I think it really boils down to tire contact, because your brakes are your brakes. And I'll just throw this in there. If you look at Wout van Aert's win at Milan-San Remo, he was on rim brakes, and Alaphilippe was on disc brakes. And Alaphilippe had a lead. He caught him on the descent with rim brakes. So
I'm so happy to hear that.
Well, I mean, it was a dry condition, and both of them are very skilled. Both of them are from the cyclocross world. So I think that depends on even Sean Kelly's win over Marino Argentine was that he just, for the first time, he went back to his car and said, give me a helmet. He was going balls out. I mean, what do you want to take your chance?
And boy, what a helmet.
And if it comes down to a rainy descent, Matthews has it. It's his. That guy can handle bike like no other. There's nobody's going to.
That is a very good point.
Tadej's hit the pavement on some descents.
Mm-hmm. That's a great point with Matthews' handling skills.
Yeah. I think rim brakes too, for as less braking that there's a easier feathering with rim brakes. I mean, where you're like, oh, I'm not going to make this corner. Mm-hmm. But I have noticed with my disc brakes, the lockup is real. Like it's really bad. I mean,
it's not a situation you want to be in a bike race.
No.
But you can hit later. You can grab.
You can hit later. But once you've locked up, you're done. You're done. There's no coming back from that. And the rim brakes just don't lock up nearly as. And I don't know if it's just my
you really have to know.
Feel isn't maybe as good with disc brakes. I just all of a sudden I go from 0 to 100%.
Yeah.
So with the race happening, and our gesture sheets in front of us, now comes the time where we get to pick 3 for the men and the women in the race. And I have a feeling, just like with a lot of these, and I haven't been comparing results of the last races because the people I've had betting on the races haven't been here 2 podcasts in a row to serve the punishment. So it's been a kind of a, who's here, who's not here. But this time we're all going with 3, and it's always turns basically into you're just picking 1. Because everybody seems to pick 2 of the same 3 that we pick. So, for example, for the women's race, I am picking Lorena Wiebes, I am picking Lotta Kopecky, and I am picking Elisa Longoborghini.
I have Vollering. She's not on the list, but most likely she's going to be there.
Yeah.
So that's different.
That was
not Kopecky.
You didn't pick Kopecky.
Yeah, she hasn't done squat.
She
last
hasn't done
year or
much
this
yet.
year.
Yeah. Jack?
Voss, Borghini, and Puck Peters.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
She's obviously got the bike handling skills too with her cyclocross experience. So I would actually be really cool with that for a win. For the guys, I have Mathieu van der Poel, I have Tadej Pogačar, but I thought I'd pick an outsider on my third one. X Mobility's Jonas Abramson. The dude is strong, and he can handle some of those climbs. So I think maybe top 3. I was going to go with the same top 3 as last year with Filippo Ganna, but I decided to go out on a limb and see what Abramson would do.
I went with Wout. I didn't pick.
That would be cool.
Yeah, just that's a heart.
Yeah.
I was going to do Lucas Kubish, which is on Unibet Rockets. But he has a big heart, but he's not. They're not going to be there, so I backed off and picked Wout. I went with Del Toro, and because he could be the kind of the sent out, as a little puppet and probably end up winning because what's Matthew
if everybody's watching each other?
Yeah, Matthew's watching Pogačar, and you have.
That's a great point.
Yeah. So, and I picked Toddy.
Okay.
So, no Matthew for me.
Wow. Jack?
I had a Matthew and a Toddy, but I was Wout, but I'm going with Matthew Jorgensen.
Matteo Jorgensen?
Jorgensen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just because.
Why not?
Why not? He's super strong.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is on Visma? You've got Christophe Laporte, Matteo, Brennan, Wout. Those are all pretty strong, and that's not obviously the full team. So if
it goes to a sprint, Brennan could be the sprinter for them.
Yeah,
it comes down to sprint.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Laporte breakaway.
Yeah,
same with Matteo.
It's interesting how the dynamics of that race change every year. First of all, before I get to the dynamics of the race, guys, is it a boring race?
No.
Paul answered that so quickly. It's like 6 hours of snore.
Yeah.
Well, that's,
for 10 minutes
that
of holy
part is
shit.
not all that exciting, no. But it's from the Cipressa on.
Yeah, so you got to wait 5 hours.
It's the best. It's almost as exciting as watching crits because there's something happening. Yeah. Not very many road races. You even Flanders, which I like, and Paris-Roubaix is just a different beast altogether.
Yeah.
But this one is just like when you have sprinters winning in the past, you have climbers, you have stage racers.
The dynamic has changed like crazy.
You cannot pin it down.
Yeah,
and
it was a sprinters classic for many years, and those last 2 climbs were still the same.
Giuseppe Cerrone
I was going to say Cerrone.
Cerrone was the last person to win in the World Championship jersey.
Oh, really?
So that could change.
Because we had the Zabel years. Oscar Freire won it, didn't he?
3 times.
Yeah.
Merckx 7.
Cavendish won it once.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a sprinters era through there.
Eric Zabel.
Yeah.
4 times.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So it changes, and now they're going so fast up that damn climb that they have to brake going uphill. It's just, I agree. I love the last 10 minutes, but I will admit that I just kind of doze in and out during the first part of it. But who doesn't?
There's a website that you can go to, and I don't know what it is, but people are smart enough they can search. And it's basically, is Milan-San Remo interesting yet? And it just pops up, yes or no. Until it gets interesting, and then you can tune in.
I like that. That's not bad. Just get
I'll see
alerts.
if I can find it.
What time are you getting up to watch it, Paul?
Whenever I get up. I get up at 5, so it still will be a lot of there'll be a breakaway, that type of thing.
Yeah.
The Trapess is way off by that point.
Okay.
Away from that.
All right. We've got our segments are reduced to one segment tonight, but we gotta always do the bumper going into the segments because the segments are, of course, brought to us by our amazing friends at Big Barn Brewing. If you haven't been to their beautifully located home in Green Bluff, you are missing out on one of the reasons Spokane is the place to be. Second off, if you can't get there, hit up any Yolks, Rosar's locations, or Total Wine and get some to fully appreciate why green beer is a joke and good beer is lifeblood. I think they might have a green beer on tap up there, but it's going to be a good pills that they just put a little green food coloring in. It's not absolute shit Bud Light, Sex in a Canoe beer or something like that. So thank you for Big Barn for being a part of the show. I keep forgetting to click over to my camera because Jax is not here. But our first and only segment for the night is, of course, Changing Times with Paul Main. And he always gives us a theme. He always gives us a title, and that's the best part. And tonight's title for Changing Times is The Best Position.
Aren't you going to giggle? I just that's it. There you go.
I was trying.
You want me to tell you mine?
Yeah.
Oh.
No thanks.
Yeah. We're good.
No, I was sitting here thinking about, and we're talking to your son. Where were we at? See, this is how bad I'm getting.
Uh-oh.
But we're just talking about Bloom and everything, and about the race, and it's interesting when coming. I knew we're old guys here, so I kind of picked this topic, and I know you guys will all have something to say about this. But when I first started racing, it was, as a Cat 4, I was strong enough I can get myself into a position. And especially towards the end of the season, I would never worry, there's a gap. And I knew exactly I could close it. You move up a category, and it's like, shit, this isn't really working out all that well. And then when you start doing, like, when you get into the 2 races and stuff, and team tactics, position is everything.
Yeah.
And I see so many people. Well, I flash back at the 1990 Washington Trust Classic that was filmed, and our buddy
Brent Soderbergh did one. Yeah,
what's it? Birds and Beans.
Bikes, Birds and Beans.
Yeah. So on his channel, he has that race, and I forget. There's pictures of that 6-corner crit where you see the lead going through, and there's guys who don't even see the front end of that race, and going around the corner. And there's a couple of times where I see teammates or people that I know are really strong on races recently, where they're like on a crit lining up, they're like way back. And
Hi, Sam.
But that was something that, I don't know about you guys, but when I learned right off the bat in a crit,
I'd fight and sneak.
Oh yeah, there was whatever you did, and if there's a call up, as soon as that spot's open, that's the time for me to be a jerk. I am not going to get stuck behind, because all it takes is one person to miss a clip in, and you're screwed, and you're chasing, and you're burning matches. And even for me, for crits that worked out, I not being somebody who can like tail gun on crits, I had to be in the top half at least at first. I had to keep my position in the top half of that pack, and then at the halfway point for me is when people start slowing. Things start settling because everybody's got all this energy, and then I need to stay in the top quarter of that race for me to do anything. But to
start in the back.
Oh yeah, it's terrible. And even on road races when they're narrow, like at Bloom with Waterville, we had so many problems. I was in the middle, and some guy in the middle of the road race overlapped a wheel going up a hill, and we just got jammed up.
Really?
Then the gaps just happened. And so I think position is underrated. A lot of people don't realize how important. If you're racing, you really my best success is when I'm held my position. So,
and it seems like in a lot of situations that is something that has to be learned, because as you say, when you start off in some of those younger categories, or not younger, just lower categories, you're relying heavily upon strength, just either natural ability or the fact that you're coming into this with a background from another sport or something like that, and you have that natural ability to kind of power away. Whereas as you get older, or not older, faster, so does everybody else, and that learning curve just disappears. And if you don't take advantage of it, I think I have forgotten a lot of that stuff too. I can sometimes brain fart in a situation, and the next thing you know, you're like, holy shit, I'm 15 guys back. Or I remember a treetop classic once where I was just suffering in the field, thinking I was
the road race.
The road race, just cruising along, and at one point I looked behind me, and I was like, holy shit.
On the back of the
Everybody's gone. Everybody's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, we lost 2/3 of our field just through attrition. And I was like, oh, where did everybody go? And holy shit, I moved up from there because if somebody gaps, your day's over.
I think what you're saying is completely true in the lower categories. There is a big difference in abilities. Like you notice, oh, this guy came from cross-country running, and he is going to be a 3, going to be a 2 in no time.
Yeah.
And then there's the people who will terminally be at Cat 4-5 forever. And it's all in the same pack. When you get to the 1s, 2s, you're all within, that 2%
percentage.
The gains.
Yeah.
And marginal gains. Is where that is,
and that's where this positioning comes in.
Yeah. But so like with crits at that level, I mean, in the lower categories, the reason to be in the position is to not get crashed out by the people that don't know how to ride their bike.
Sure.
But in the in the elites, you are in that. I always said, the first 20 minutes is the race. It's if you're not in the front, you're not going to be in the race anymore. Like you'll be literally pulled.
Yeah.
If you're in the front, if you're in the top quarter, then the race, once that 20 minutes of intensity is over, then it becomes a lot more strategic. But the first 20 minutes is like full gas. And if you're gapped, you're just, looking for a reason to quit at that point. So.
Yeah. And that's at those elite levels, because at a lower level, you've got just somebody attacks, everybody chases, they sit up. Somebody attacks, everybody chases, they sit up. That kind of a mentality. And from what I remember, the road races are even like that anymore. They just kind of become either attritional or there's not a whole lot of that tactical element. And I think with age group racing, now that we're all in that tends to kind of play in. Tactical game kind of slowly starts to leach away, I notice, because you've got people who are an age group, not necessarily a skill set. And I'm not picking on people new to the sport. I'm just saying that it becomes this go hard, go hard, go hard, go soft. Go hard, go hard, go hard, sit up. Go hard, go hard, go hard, wait for the climb, kind of a thing like that. And
I think in my experience, using my age group, because we're so small, we're with 3 4s, 50s, and we're all open from whatever category in the 60s. And then we have the 4 5 40s. Those guys obviously are beginners, started at the 40s. A lot of them there's Zwift power guys.
Yeah.
And crits, they just punch it. But they have no tactical. And you can use that to your advantage. You just use those guys up. You just don't...
you just stay on.
Yeah, you stay on them, or you stay,
clear
you don't want to stay clear. Yeah.
You
just watch there. Some of them have some skill and handling and stuff, but halfway through the year. But still, nevertheless, you got to acknowledge, in that, like Jack said, the best thing to do is stay in that top quarter. I don't try and do anything.
Place,
and I don't try and go. There's a couple of times where I see somebody go and I could get on that wheel. It never worked out for me.
Really?
If it's not the first 20 minutes.
Not in the first,
It's all this energy.
Except maybe a really rainy crit.
Yep, that's
the
about
only
it.
Thing then no matter what, there's no. A really rainy crit is like a hill.
Okay.
There's no real draft. When you're going uphill, it's like it's a strength thing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not so much like the sitting on somebody, the draft, the whatever. It's like balls to the wall, and everybody just disperses and
Right on
quits
that rail.
for their own reason. Too dangerous, can't hang in the, they're gapped, all that. But
Cold,
quit, whatever. But then you could that's the one time you could probably lay it all out and it'd work out.
Yeah.
But on a nice sunny day, that's the stupidest thing you could do.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
All right, thanks, Paul. Good segment, of course, as usual, and as it is that one time of the month because Jack's here and because we've just got old guys, I thought I would throw a little broom wagon trivia at us, gentlemen. So, St. Patrick's Day, just old guys sitting around the pub. We play pub trivia. Broom wagon, 5 standard questions tonight and 5 Irish questions in honor of this very, very special day. We are at the back of the race. The road is opening up to traffic, and I see the headlines in the distance. Must be the time for the broom wagon, gentlemen. I'm going to throw trivia. If you get wrong, you get swept. Paul and Jack, try to stay on the wheel.
All right.
All right, here we go. First 5 questions are going to be, as I stated, just simple trivia questions. You chime in with your name. If it is a numerical response, I will probably go closest to the actual response. I have to say that I picked open the internet tonight and I went fairly difficult on these. So if it ends up being 1-1, that might be a very normal score. But we'll see what happens because we've all been with the sport for so long. First question, entitled The Grease and Glory Era, Mechanic's Nightmare. We all know English bottom bracket threads left to right to keep them from unscrewing. Italian bottom brackets tighten clockwise on both sides. But if you were tapping a fresh shell, what is the exact thread, pitch, and diameter designation of an Italian bottom bracket?
35 by 1.
He didn't chime in with his name, but
Paul.
He said 35 by 1. Jack, you got something you want to go with it?
Nope.
Okay, the answer here says for an English bottom bracket.
English is
You said
1
Italian.
point.
Did I say
you said
Italian?
Yep.
Oh, Italian.
English is 1.37 by 25, I think.
It's 1.37 by 24. I'm getting, you're right. Italian is 36 millimeters by 24.
By 24.
Yeah. There we go. So Paul draws first blood. Next question. The beautiful anchor. Iconic Delta brakes were gorgeous, but mechanically infuriating. To adjust the internal...
So there's a nut. You got to pull the cover plate and then squeeze the caliper, and there's a nut and bolt.
What size?
A 5 millimeter. Okay. Anyway, pull the cable
You
through.
couldn't use a standard multi-tool. You just answered. You can't answer it now. You're done. You're dead. You're dead in the water, dude. You needed a highly specific, easily lost Allen wrench. What is the exact millimeter size of that wrench?
It is a 2.5, I believe.
I was going to say 4.5.
So close. It is a 3.5.
3.5.
Wait, as soon as you said that, there's some weird 0.5 shit.
Yeah, it's like you got to have it just
I would have thought because the 2.5 you can't torque that much, and on a brake cable you really got to torque it.
I had 2 sets of deltas too. So
Did you?
I had one set and it got stolen out of my car. I had a Pogliagi.
But the joke's on him.
Yeah,
because they didn't stop.
Yeah,
they didn't work.
God, no, yeah.
They look good.
Probably some methed out guy, probably trying to go down a hill. He's like,
well, you hit a bus.
Yeah, game over. Exactly. Next off, the indexing era. Shimano changed the world in 1990 when they integrated the shifter into the brake lever. What was the exact official 4-digit alphanumeric model number that the first generation Shimano Dura Ace STI group set?
Paul.
Yeah.
I think it's 8400. I think. Nope. Well, I already said.
Yeah, it's
it.
a Jack. You want to try?
Dang it.
I'll go 5,500.
It is the Dura Ace 7400.
Yeah, I was off by
the
one.
ST
See,
7400.
I'm missing each by one number.
Yep.
Yeah.
That.
Well, it's the grease. It's the grease and glory era.
Jesus.
The golden acronym number 4. The legendary Tout Mavic group set. Trout, was the peak of French componentry. What exactly did the letters SSC stand for on the iconic Mavic SSC rims?
Jack. Super special component. Super special component.
I can't guess.
It is Special Service Course.
Service course.
Service Course.
I knew Special was.
I told you these were hard.
Special has to be part of it.
I think this one might be able to be achieved by you guys. And it's before we go into the really hard Irish questions.
the really good.
Number 5, the snowstorm victim.
Oh.
Andy Hampson became a legend by taking the Magliarosa in a horrific blizzard over the Gavia Pass in the 1988 Giro d'Italia. Who was the Italian rider actually wearing pink that morning of the stage who subsequently froze
Jack.
and lost it to Hampson?
Gatorade jersey.
I can't remember.
Ciocoli.
Oh.
Ciocoli?
Yeah.
Ciocoli. Hey! The Emerald Isle. We are switching gears. Current score at halfway is Paul with 1 and Jack with 1.
I have 0.
I mean, 0. Yeah. Jack, thank you, Jack.
Yeah.
In honor of St. Patrick's Day, we're finishing with Irish cycling history. And no, the answers are not just Sean Kelly or Stephen Roche. Number 6, the true pioneer. Before the golden era of the 1980s, an Irish trailblazer became the first English-speaking rider to ever win a stage in all 3 Grand Tours, and the first Irishman to wear the yellow jersey in the Tour de France back in 1963. Name him. I mean, dismount here because he would get it.
Yeah, he would.
He's
I
probably
have no clue.
These are hard. These are really hard. Jack.
Sir.
It is Shea Elliott. Shea Elliott.
Nope, would never guess.
Question number 7. Martin Early was the third man of Irish cycling, winning stages in the Giro Tour and Vuelta in the 80s and 90s. After retiring from PDM and Fagor, he became the physical therapist and famously went on to world tours, serving as the personal physio for what massive British pop boy band? Martin Early was the physio for a very popular British boy pop band. British pop boy band.
And I watch a lot of British television. There's a lot of reference to this group. Oh, God. Hang on. There's 5 of them.
Should I give you a hint? They are no longer around.
No.
And their former lead singer just recently hosted Saturday Night Live.
Oh, God, I like him.
I can't think of the name.
Time is up. Is it an audio podcast? Is One Direction.
One Direction.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Dan Martin, who rode for Ireland and is Stephen Roche's nephew, won the 2013 Monument Liège-Bastogne-Liège by attacking Joaquim Rodriguez in the final kilometer. He was famously chased down the road during that winning move by a fan wearing a specific full-body animal costume.
That is a panda.
Paul got that right. He knew it was a panda costume. I never would have got that one. Number 9, 2 questions to go. Nepo Baby Marathon. Stephen Roche's son, Nicholas Roche, was an absolute workhorse in the Peloton. He holds the all-time record for the most Grand Tour starts of any Irish Tour, Grand Tour Irish rider in history. Exactly how many Grand Tours did Nicholas line up for during his career?
Jack.
I will give you the closest number. Yes.
12.
12. Paul, you got a number?
17.
Paul wins, but it is 24 Grand Tours. He finished 22 of them.
Wow.
That's damn impressive. That is damn impressive.
He was on a lot of teams.
Yeah, he was. I think he finished with AG Desert, didn't he not? I think
he might have. He was with BMC for a while.
He was.
Too.
Yeah, a lot of teams. Final question: the Ironman of the Ross, the legendary Irish amateur race, the Ross. Teleton. You guys might not get this one.
No.
In 1958 by a Kerry bricklayer. During the race, he rode for 4 days with a broken collarbone, supposedly drank fresh cow's blood to ward off anemia, and stole a farmer's heavy steel bicycle mid-stage to finish after his own frame snapped. I knew you were going to get this. I just wanted to actually say who was the rider's name that drank cow's blood, stole a bike.
Is it Murphy?
Sir.
It is Mick Murphy. Paul gets the point.
Is it Murphy?
It is Mick Murphy, also known as the Iron Man of Kerry.
You fuck. You picked the one
I did not know. But
yes, I know that.
I picked a stupid Irish name.
Narrows it down.
Apparently. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, you guys. And that brings us to the end of the broom wagon. The doors are closed and we are driving to the hotel. Huge thank you to you guys for suffering with us today. Until next trivia. And before we bring to the end of the show, I got to stop that because it brings us to the end of the longest standing cycling podcast ever. Be sure to like and subscribe. Check out our Patreon and all the behind the scenes and look to episode 2 of the Gruppetto. I think I've got it coming out either end of this week or early this weekend. Is that what I'm trying to say? That's what I'm trying to say. So for our outro final K, gentlemen, what was your favorite toy as a kid? And what happened to it?
Outside of a bike?
Yes.
Wow.
Your favorite toy as a child. For example, I will go first.
Yeah.
Mine was the $6 Million Man. I loved it. I think it just literally fell apart.
You loved it a lot.
I did. I played the shit out of that thing.
Wow.
It was either going to be... He kept tearing and there was blood all over the place.
Oh, my God.
If you know, you know.
Hot Wheels.
Maybe me.
Maybe me.
That's an American thing. Put an S on